So I'm Moni Fleishner. I'm a professor in integrative physiology from CU Boulder, and I was hoping we could take just a moment. I'm curious what this group feels. So I'm an old school scientist, and when we were being required to upload our data sets into these kinds of sites, I did a microarray with you where we did laser capture a very specific piece of the brain. And so then somebody else takes those data, and you spent, thousands and thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours, and you pulled out what you could for your publication. And then that contribution just disappears. How do you guys feel about that? I mean, am I the only one who feels like that somehow feels like your work's getting taken away from you? Because I'm sorry, I just wanted a moment. I've been struggling with this, yes.
Well, it's not just you. Pretty much everybody faces the same situation. So the advice normally would give is do your best first. Get everything you need first. Or share with your internal group first. Okay? Then you go public. As long as you get the public, yes, you're right. Everybody can access.
If you published on the data, in my opinion, it's fair game, right?
Well,
and it should be. Honestly, I think, and that's the thing, and I get a lot of blowback from people like you in that, well, look at you're just going up there, you don't even need your own data. You're going to put everybody out to work. And no, I'm not. What this allows you to do is by combining all this data, it gives you better answers. And so that when you do your next experiment, it's going to be targeted, right? And you're going to know exactly what to do, and you're not going to waste your time doing all these, well, what is papillary renal cell carcinoma? You can find out right now.
But the other thing is that you can also take advantage of that data sets that are out there to validate your own work. So it's a two-way street.
Yeah. But are you guys finding that we have a requirement? We can't even get our first paper published without then listing where it's publicly available.
And I think that should be, right? Who wants to, if you're going to do a data, I should be able to check your data, right? If you do a microarray experiment, I should be able to take your raw data and figure out if you did it correctly, right? Or what you're saying is true.
Well, that's not the issue. The issue is, we in academia advance our careers by getting acknowledged for our contributions. And so what happens is that whoever contributed that data set is never acknowledged anywhere.
You're not cited?
No.
I do.
That's wrong.
Every time I use a data set, if I put together a meta-analysis, I would totally cite whoever I used, for sure. And even if I use something extensively, maybe I would contact that person and say, hey, let's work together. Why don't you be on this paper? And that happens a lot too. I'll get into something and go, oh my God, this is great. And my collaborator's like, I don't know anything about that. So I have to find somebody. And I'll say, hey, I've been looking at your data. By the way, I found this really cool stuff. You want to, go on with it? And so a lot of times they do say yes.